Hey guys, um, this video will be separated into two categories of two completely different things. Why am I doing that like that? I don't know, but whatever. Um, I had a very strange experience right in this bed today. I went out of body very briefly, but since it hasn't happened for such a long time, um, the last time I would say I really left my body and it wasn't like a partial conscious experience was probably 2 years ago or more. So this was totally different and unique though. I was taking a midday nap right here in this bed and I woke up and in that state I got paralyzed. So I was in a sleep paralysis, and I've had that countless times throughout my life. I used to get it very frequently, not so much anymore. I felt my hands and feet go completely numb, felt nothing. And I felt this surge of energy gravitate from my body to like the center of my brain, or what I would consider to be the pineal gland. And when that surge of energy, mind you, I can't move, but I'm fully conscious. I see a spiral or a vortex. I could actually physically see it in my mind's eye, the spiral, but I could also sense it like as a sort of sensation as it comes out, and it's both coming out and going in simultaneously. When this started taking place, I started hearing very loud auditory chimes and bells. It felt like millions of beautiful bells that were just radiating back and forth. And it was beautiful. And at that point, I tried to actually exit my body. I actually tried, and it felt like a real struggle. It felt like I was trying way too hard, really is the only way I could describe it. And I jumped out for a brief moment and then we're right back in. And when I went right back in, I that the chimes they stopped. They stopped and the vortex stopped. And I've seen this vortex before. It looks like kind of like a cone spiral, and it goes. It's larger at the top and it diminishes at the bottom. What it is, I don't know. Maybe you could help me out and tell me. So now on to part two. Um, Sorry for dramatically changing the subjects, but I just wanted to get this out of the way. Just wanted to talk about my usual doom and Taiwan and how, if an invasion were to take place, how it would actually look like. And of course, I'm obviously no military strategist here, but there is a lot of common sense that needs to be used when talking about this. Now, it's a challenge, to say the least, for China to do such a thing because it's an island 100 miles off the coast. Any amphibious operation is incredibly difficult. And what they would need to do is essentially sink all the aircraft carriers first, um, if they approach Taiwan. Right now, they're actually very far away. They're closer to the Philippines. So they could deploy aircraft relatively quickly, yes, but they're probably keeping a safe distance for that reason, for that potential risk. They would have to cut off all those assets from the U.S. Navy before they could even conceive of an invasion. Right now, what they're doing is essentially squeezing. It's a blockade. And a blockade is a very evil thing. I can tell you about the blockade of Leningrad, that my grandfather participated in. And the horrors and cannibalism that ensued from that blockade are indescribable. And my grandpa was there, saw it for himself, and didn't talk about it. Now, of course, this blockade is not as dramatic, but it still has a psychological effect on Taiwan. Now, putting pressure on them like that is going to increase first slowly, then it will become exponential. What they'll do next are a series of massive cyber attacks. I think that they're going to take down the grid, and after they do that, I think they're going to immediately attack all the military bases in Taiwan, wipe those out first. Once they could get all that from a safe distance, not invading, from a safe distance, they could use hypersonic weapons, which, by the way, would reach those aircraft carriers in the Philippines in a matter of minutes. Then they would probably continue a bombardment of urban areas for a prolonged period of time over a matter of days and try to subdue the island and get it on its knees and wipe out as much of the military as they could possibly wipe out. Of course, there will be retaliatory strikes this entire time, potentially very severe ones, because Taiwan has missiles pointed at the Three Gorges Dam as we speak. If they were to destroy the Three Gorges Dam, millions would die. So the risk is incredibly high. And likewise, China on its eastern coast has 500 kiloton nuclear warheads pointed at the island. And if they suspect any sort of threat to the Three Gorges Dam, they will use those. And they might even use those before the invasion in general. So, after this prolonged process to subdue and cut off the island, only after all of that would they possibly do an amphibious assault and land invasion through a series of key ports, and there's not many places you can invade because it's a very mountainous island. And of course, from that sense, Taiwan has a strategic advantage and could potentially hide in those mountains lots of military assets that China would not be able to get to. So my family's here from Portland, in case you didn't know what that noise was. Okay, but that's all I wanted to say anyway, so let me know what you think.